constantly falling with no place to land.
I am a musician. I live in Wakefield. I am a singer-songwriter and also a violinist and violist. I don't remember life without music. I was raised in a very musical family. My mother is a composer, and I'm the second of four kids. My older sister started playing violin when she was 4, and I wanted to do everything she did. So as soon as I was aware of the world, I wanted to play music. And so I started taking violin lessons when I was 5, and I haven't stopped.
The sun will come up, it's a new day. The sun will come up, the sun will come up, the sun will come up again.
Well, I think maybe grade 8 or 9, I found my dad's old guitar in the basement and took a different route where I learned to play Sarah McLachlan songs in my bedroom. Started singing and doing more popular music or folky music, non-classical, and learned to play basic chords. And at that point, I was like, oh, this is an avenue of music that I actually really enjoy. Maybe more. There was no structure around it for me. It was just for the fun of it. And I would get together with friends and we'd try to learn Stairway to Heaven and, all the classic songs that people start out on. Never really mastered it, but that started to build a parallel path for me.
The sun will come up, the sun will come up, it's a new day. The sun will come up, the sun will come up, the sun will come up again.
Singing and playing guitar became something I really enjoyed doing and something that was just mine and not led by my mom, who was the one who made sure that all the other practicing and performing and things took place. Even from when I was young, I was like, I could write songs. This arrogant, I could write songs. But I sort of started to try in high school and then realized it was not a piece of cake, and that it takes a lot of work. And I wrote some songs back then that I kind of liked, but then I got sidetracked. I went to university for music and then was deep back in the classical music world for a long time, studying viola performance and playing in orchestra. And it was back to the sort of rigorous angle. But every once in a while, every few years, I'd have an idea for a song and sit down and try to flesh it out. I wrote on and off. When my kids were babies, I taught a little music program for neighborhood kids in Toronto, and at that point I was writing a bunch of songs to sort of work with the classes and teach kids about observing the world. Or I was getting back into songwriting for the purpose of fostering musicality in kids, and that sort of reopened my interest. Actually, coming up with topics is a big hurdle. I don't always know what to write about. So I do find that is one of the biggest challenges for me. So what I tend to do is I write lyrics first to get ideas, and then sort of build melodies and chord structures based on something I find in my lyrics, but I'll almost free associate. I'll just write down and try to write sort of poetic, free, brainstormy, often absolute nonsense, and often it'll be garbage, but then I'll just keep going and there'll be something in there that I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's a kernel, this is a seed.
The sun will come up, it's a new day. The sun will come up, the sun will come up, the sun will come up, it's a new day. The sun will come up, the sun will come up, the sun will come up again.
What you're finding is something that's true that it's been hard to articulate. So often it'll be oh yeah, no, that is a true thing and that was in my brain, but it wasn't at the forefront of my brain. It was just swimming around in there somewhere. So now that I have it out, I can expand on it. That's like the drug of it, where I'm like, oh, that's what I want. Where it's like, oh, the magic just happened. And it doesn't just happen when I'm walking down the street. It takes the effort and the process to get there. And then when it happens, yeah, that is the best creative feeling I ever have.
Let's go out, I need to get away.
I need other people to play with. For a long time, I thought I should be able to just play by myself. And it's not that I can't I can play guitar and sing a song, but my ideas for songs always have more parts, and I'm just one player. It's extremely gratifying to have good musicians come in and take what is there and then bring it up to a new level through that collaborative process. I really like live performance. It's been the main way that I've shared my music. I like it. I like connecting with an audience. I like energy in a room. I like, even if one person comes up after and says, hey, that thing you did was special to me in some way. Like, oh, that's probably one of my top 3 favorite things about making music. In the classical world, we talk about ensemble, where you're interacting with the other people playing with you. I'm sure there's another word for that, but I always think of it as ensemble, where things can change mid-performance, where people play off each other, or even just on stage interactions where you're at your favorite part and you look over and your player beside you knows it's your favorite part, and you get to smile in that moment. That's so special. I love that part.